Hey there, I'm Brian Goulet of gouletpens.com, and this is kind of a cool special video, not something I normally get to do. I don't do a whole lot of interviews, but I had the opportunity to sit down with Luca Baglione, who is the sales and brand director for Omas. He actually came and visited our place here, a month and a half ago or so. And while he was here, showed us this pen, the Omas Ogiva Alba, which is a new pen that they're coming out with to celebrate kind of a little bit in advance of their 90th anniversary. And he gave me the opportunity to come out launching an exclusive with this pen. We haven't done a lot with Omas before, and so I didn't know that much about him, but when he came here, he started telling me about the company and just about the history and everything that they're all about, and there was like a complete values alignment between Goulet and Omas. We really hit it off, and I had such a deeper appreciation for what Omas does. And so I expressed to him, like, is there any way that we can shoot a video or anything like that? And he's like, oh yeah, we could Skype, we could do something. And I was like, that would be awesome. So what we did is we sat down on one Friday morning and Friday afternoon for him, and we had a little Skype session, just talked a little bit about Omas, about the Ogiva, just kind of how they make the pens. He's been shooting me some little clips and videos about some of the manufacturing they do, and I just think it's absolutely fascinating. So I wanted to share that with you here today. I think it's awesome stuff. It's a little bit long, so sit down, grab yourself a nice cup of coffee or whatever, tea, whatever your preference is, and you can learn a little bit about Omas. He introduces a lot of the other people at the Omas team. Really cool, kind of family-oriented company. It's just really great. So it's neat to see that. I'm honored to be able to share that with you today. So without further ado, here is our Skype session. All right.
All right.
Well, here we go. Yeah. So, all right. Thank you so much, Luca, for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm really excited to kind of share more what you were talking about when we met in person here a couple of weeks ago. I'm very excited for those who are watching that don't know anything about Omas or don't know anything about me. We haven't done a lot in the past. We've been carrying your ink for a little while, but we really haven't done a lot with your pens. And I think that this is kind of a new relationship, I guess, between Goulet and Omas.
Sure.
And so, yeah, that's why I really thought it would be a great idea to do this Skype. As soon as you said that you were eager to do a video, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. We've got to make this happen.
Thank you, Brian. It's really a pleasure for us on top. I mean, being here and talking finally to young generation. As I said, you saw the company. I mean, you saw the staff, and we are all young, pretty young. I mean,
yeah.
I think the eldest is around 50 years old. We have 20 years old people around 20 years, so we are very happy to talk to young people as well. That bringing up our business at the end.
Absolutely, it's great to get to see everybody. I think that most people, when they think about fountain pens or manufacturing, especially like really high quality products, they don't necessarily get to see the personal side of what goes into them. I think a lot of people wonder, why is a pen $500 or $1,000 when there are other pens you can get for $20? What's the difference? I think that probably the craftsmanship, the level of handwork and detail and planning that goes into these pens has a lot to do with that.
Correct. Agree. I mean, I think it's a good stuff. It's a good tool to use. I mean, there's no secret. The company is here. Well, you can see outside from the window is Bologna, and I mean, we are here. We are working all together like a family. This is a very small company. What we say, we are a boutique company. We made this choice some years ago, and we like to keep on going like that. Our motto is we do what we can do inside here. What we can do inside here is not our job. That's simple. So, I mean, it's very, very useful, and we are glad to show the company to people who is visiting Italy. They sometimes ask to come and visit the factory, so our door is always open, and it's a pleasure, really, it's a pleasure.
I just wanted to ask, what, for those who aren't familiar with Omas as a company, how long has the company been around? Can you tell me a little bit about the company's history?
Well, the company is going to be 90 years old, actually, in a few months, in 2015. The company was founded in Bologna in 1925 and was founded by Mr. Armando Simoni, who gave the name to the company. Actually, Omas is an acronym of Officine Meccaniche Armando Simoni, which means Mechanical Laboratory Armando Simoni, who is the name of the founder. And he was a man passionate of mechanical. Remember, we are in the Motor Valley here. This is the land of mechanics. We have Ferrari, we have Maserati here, we have Ducati, we have Lamborghini, we have Pagani Zonda. So we are in the land of mechanics, actually. And a pen, and especially a piston filling fountain pen, is a mechanical item. It's mechanical. So that's why, I mean, he was a very passionate guy of mechanics. He also has a passion for the Greek art, and he combines the style, the very classical style coming from the Greek art and the Greek history to mechanics. And he made the Arte Italiana, which is the collection that he designed in 1931, which is totally inspired by the Greek column made by 12 facets. So this is the reproduction of the Greek column. So you can even see today the link with the DNA of the company. So that's cool. I mean, that is something that is still living inside this wall, you know? The story of this company is still alive here, starting from the origin of Armando Simoni ideas. On the beginning, actually, he started making business for other pen brands. He was a supplier for Parker and for other player in the business of pens. And then in 1925, he made his own brand, which was Omas. He actually started with the first collection, the Ogiva, one you are familiar with, in 1927, and we are carrying that shape from 1927. Then in the 1931, as I said, he made the Arte Italiana, which is, no way, this is the icon of the company. Omas is Arte Italiana is Omas. And year after year, you know, he started to open new markets together with Italy. And during year 40s, 50s, he started making business, abroad, and so Omas became a kind of player in the fine writing instruments market. I guess he introduced also at the time some of the first limited edition in the market, and then so starting from Ogiva, Arte Italiana, using celluloid, using ebonite, using some material that we still carry inside the company, he really became a player. He went up to become one of the first 2 or 3 Italian companies selling pens. In 1996, just as a quick step forward, you know, the company made another icon pen, which is the 360, which is still nowadays an icon of this company. The 360, and look, it's not 360. The name is 360 because the pen was actually a challenge that the company, the family, gave to an Italian architect, Mr. Stefano Bini, to design the perfect writing instruments. Okay? So when he started making some thoughts around this, he started thinking about the fingers while writing. And so he designed the pen around the fingers. That's why the shape. So it was the first triangular pen in the market, the most ergonomic pen in the market. And here we go, that's the story of the 360. So another icon came in the company. In the while, actually, Armando Simoni passed away, of course, and the family carried on the business. In year 2000 was another important turning point. The company was acquired by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is the French luxury holding that owned a lot of luxury brands in jewelry, fashion, in watches, and Omas was introduced in the watch and jewelry division. Then in 2007, okay, in the while I joined the company, it was 2006.
Okay.
Right, or end 2005, and 2005. Then the company was sold to the distributor in Asia, and especially the Greater China, of Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. His name is Heng Deli Holding, who now own the 90% of the company, while the 10% still remain at Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy hands. So this is more or less 90 years of history. There's a very nice story that happened in 1948, but I think for that you should wait for a while, because it's something that we have to think about and maybe do something special next year for the 90th anniversary. So I don't want to show you anything today. Just please keep penning.
Okay.
and I will make you happy probably next year.
Okay, that's fair enough. Can you tell me, what do you, and for those, a lot of people I don't think know who you are or what you do. What are your responsibilities at Omas?
Well, actually, I'm working on the whole commercial area. I'm responsible for product development, for sales, and for marketing, and for brand development.
Okay.
That's my area. It looks very easy. That's a few words, but actually it's a lot of job. As I said, that living here is like living in a family. Really, I enjoy a lot. I have very young people with me, so I'm very happy about that.
That's wonderful. How large is Omas? I mean, how many people are actually working there?
We are 21 people in the company.
Okay, that's a nice size.
Yeah, we are very, how can I say, small compared to Goulet.
A little bit smaller. We're about 26 people right now, so a little bit smaller. And you got to see our operation a few weeks ago, so it's you can tell it's same kind of family feel that you have going on there. And I could tell as you were talking about what Omas is like, it's very similar kind of feel to what we have here.
But you guys, I mean, you are very well organized. You have a fantastic approach to social marketing, and I have to study you. I have to learn from you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I take that as a high compliment.
We will.
Absolutely. All right, I got a few other questions here. So as far as this pen that we're doing here, the Ogiva Alba, I guess how long has this been in development? How did this pen kind of come about?
Well, the Ogiva, we talked about the Ogiva before. The Ogiva was made in 1927, okay? So when Omas was just 2 years old. And since we are going to celebrate our 90th anniversary next year, we thought that probably we may need a collection to talk about the birthday and also the date of birth of Omas. So we thought to use the Ogiva, which is the first collection Omas made, and we thought, okay, how about we make a collection which in some way anticipates the anniversary, and we go back to our Alba, which in Italian means sunrise, so the sunrise of Omas. Alba is the Italian word of sunrise. So that's why we took some inspiration of the color, looking around, and we saw the Alba Borealis, which is something that is in the upper north in Norway, and we took some inspiration from the color, and we made some tests. You see it here. That's your pen. That will be your pen, actually. We start working, collecting several colors and of cotton resin. I don't know if I can show you properly, maybe like that.
Uh-huh.
Can you see?
Yeah.
It's cotton resin seeds, grain, sorry, coming directly from the seeds. And we choose these three colors, the orange, the green, and the purple, to celebrate the birth of Omas.
That's wonderful.
It was 6-month job, actually, to find out the right color, to find out the right mix, and we are quite happy.
I would say so. I think they look fantastic. For those who aren't familiar, because cotton resin was something I had actually never heard about until I talked to you. Can you tell me a little bit about, how is cotton resin made, and how does that make it different than your typical, just acrylic plastic pen?
We like to work mainly with natural material, I would say totally. And cotton resin is actually a resin. It's a kind of plastic material coming directly from the cotton. I mean, what we do is we work with a local supplier here who is working for us, the cotton seeds, and he directly buys the cotton seeds, and then the process, for sure, is chemical. It's an industrial process. He mixed up the cotton seeds with the color, and what we get here in the company is just this kind of grain, like the emerald green or the purple, that we use into our machine. By injection, we made the parts. This is how the parts, more or less, how the parts is coming out from the molds. Actually, it's a little bit different. This is already cutted and polished. It's already fine-tuned. This is mostly ready to be assembled on a pan. But there's mainly two reasons we use cotton resin. The first is that, as I said, we like working with natural material. The second one is the technical issue on the cotton resin is quite good. I mean, cotton resin is very flexible. Cotton resin is very warm at touch, much more than a thermoplastic resin. And we can use a lot of finishings on the cotton resin, a lot of decoration on the cotton resin, working with our manual pantograph to engrave the pen, to choose which kind of engraving we want to make. We can also use different engraving, like laser engraving, that we may manage for private label business. But the best reason is definitely cotton resin gives us some technical issues that a normal resin can do. I mean, it's very resistant, and it's flexible. I forgot to carry some water with me.
It's okay.
And yeah, that's the reason why we work with cotton resin.
That's wonderful. Sorry, our connection is getting a little bit grainy. That's okay. I haven't lost you yet, but it's getting better now.
Okay.
So I believe, if you correct me if I'm wrong, but Omas pretty much focuses on doing limited editions, small batches of pens. It's numbered pens. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Maybe why Omas chooses to do things that way as opposed to just having one pen available for, 40 years?
Right. Well, let's start saying that some years ago, let's say 7 years ago, 6 years ago, when I started to be more in charge of some decision, regarding production, how to make our pen, we took the decision to follow our today motto, which is we do what we can do inside. So I think nowadays we are very flexible to produce anything in the quantity we like. And the reason why we do limited edition in few numbers is because we don't have any stock issue, actually. We can produce everything today, and we can send out to our markets. We don't have any minimum to respect, let me say. We can decide accordingly to market's request. And since market dramatically changed starting from 2009, 2008, with the Lehman Brothers crash, actually there's no more the same feeling, the same policy for our partner to work with huge stock, and we can't live with huge stock. I mean, we cannot keep our money in our stock as well, so we prefer to go with small batches since we can, and I don't know who else can, doing something like that, like we do, because we are so few people, we do everything here, so it's very easy for us to manage small batch of production according to market request. On the other side, what we introduced a few years ago is also limited amount but also dedicated project, market to market. We started making limited edition for United States, for Japan, for Turkey, for Italian market, for French market, for Arab market. So this is something that is a value. Because you can match the taste of your customer and of local end user and collectors.
That's very smart. I think the fact that you are such a small company keeps you very nimble and allows you to do things like in small batches like that. Is that something you foresee, continuing to do in the future?
The limited edition?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. What we feel as a limited edition is not only the Alba, it's not only the Ogiva Alba. To Omas, any pen is more or less a limited edition, beside the Arte Italiana, which is our icon collection that we refresh every year with new color, new finishings. Working on a special limited edition like we did this year with the William Shakespeare limited edition is also a kind of exercise we love. And what we want to do actually is keep on going, making limited edition like the William Shakespeare or something else which is coming right now, like the Michelangelo anniversary limited edition, which is not on the market yet, is linking our project to art. Everything starts with, let me say better, every people has some art inside, has some creativity inside, and everything starts with writing. Every kind of art starts with writing. So we made a collection actually at the beginning of this year, which I should have with me here somewhere, which is the art. And working with art is really our passion. When we do some limited edition like that, we always find a way to finance the activity we make. There's a commercial issue on one side. There's also the obligation we have to try to finance any kind of art. And with the William Shakespeare limited edition, we are giving a donation to the foundation taking care of Shakespeare properties in Stratford-upon-Avon in UK. With the Michelangelo, we are going to work with the Opera del Duomo. It's one of the most important museums in Florence. So we are giving away part of our revenue to finance the maintenance of the museum.
Mm.
We are now introducing a new collection also with the Italian musician and composer, who is Ludovico Einaudi, who, by the way, is coming to the US for a tour. And we are working with him to support also the rights of education of young people in Africa, together with a ONG company, Sole Terre, an Italian ONG company. So this is limited edition. There's a commercial purpose for sure. We are not a no-profit company. We have to make a profit, but we have to try to use our daily job to step by step. Try to improve a little bit the world we live in. That's it. With no ambitious target, but just give our hands.
That's wonderful. I think that helps to answer part of the question that I get a lot of the times, which is, why are some of these pens, and I think Omas fits into this price range that, it's not a noodler's pen. It's not a $20 or a $40 pen. It's, it's a significant amount of money that you're paying for these pens. So, I guess what are some of the selling points of an Omas? Why? I mean, I think most of the people who are familiar with me and my company tend to be newer into the fountain pen hobby, and they look at a pen like Omas and think, "Oh my gosh, that's such an investment. What am I getting for that?" I guess why would somebody pay what you would charge for an Omas versus a cheaper pen?
That's a tricky question. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, or let's say it's easy to talk about Omas value, but I think we have to give maximum respect also to other players in the market. And if we talk about Omas value, we have to do in some contest, and we have to consider also who is working in this business. And I have a tremendous respect for some companies. I can tell you I love the creativity of Visconti. Okay, I can tell you I love the way of working of some Japanese nib or some UK nib like Onoto. Onoto is doing fantastic nib. Or I like some technical issue and process of some pen of the year of Graf by Faber-Castell. Or I like the consistency of Namiki. They are doing fantastic Makie pen. So I think everybody has his own value. And I don't want to say Omas is the best fountain pen in the world. There's no sense to say something like that. There's no question. At first, what is our mission is try to bring people back to hand pride. So, I mean, okay, we like Omas, we are Omas, of course, but hand pride at first. I mean, use your big pen or use your Omas pen, just hand pride. We want to sell the experience. We want to give away some experience around the writing instrument. And to do that, we believe we must use some tools, okay? So let me go back to your question, why we think Omas is one of the best example to follow with this exercise. At first, we give to people really a wide range of nibs. We have 15 nibs size, okay? And having 15 nibs working good, by the way, this nib is for one only nib that we have 15 size, which is what we call the OM81. It means Omas 1981 is a nib designed in 1981 from the family, still the family Simoni, and will still carry this nib. This nib is available in 15 size, but we don't think the nib is enough. I mean, we can have 15 size, but if the nib is not coming together with the right feeder, there's no sense. So we matched every OM81 with a feeder in ebonite, 100%. And I did show you in a very quick clip with a bad quality how we make the feeder. The guy was here before. He used to make, of course, kind of 200 per times. I mean, once we start, he makes 200 batch of feeder. And the best way I had to show you what we do, I mean, why we keep use ebonite. This is a feeder in ebonite, okay? Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a banana feeder.
Huh.
You see? This is just with a drying machine even for hair, okay? It's enough to make it warmer and you can move as you like. Once it go dry, then it stay like that. It means that if you have any issue on the dark side of the nib, you can perfectly match the shape of the nib. That's why we keep on using ebonite, which, believe me, it's a job. It's an incredible job. It's make us crazy sometimes, because when some machine goes out of order, to fix it is not easy because you saw the machine we are using. So, but this is customer service. That's on top customer service. Another value we like so much working with natural material, wood, celluloid, ebonite, cotton resin, of course silver, gold, and so on. But this is really our DNA.
Yeah, that's cool. It was so neat to be able to see the machine that cuts that ebonite too, because I think the actual manufacturing process for some of these pens is kind of hard for people to visualize, to understand. But you know, the clips that you sent to me really helps to give a sense of what goes into making these things. And you see the people that are involved too, you know, the handwork and the care that goes into every single one of these pens. For me, that's really special. It's not just something that's cranked out, you know, injection molded onto a machine. You can tell that there's craftsmanship involved with these.
Yeah, and that's the best way, much better than my words showing that images, is why a pen is so expensive. Come and see. I mean, this is a jump in the past. When I say boutique company, that's the meaning. We're still using machine that needs hands.
Mm-hmm.
There's no series, production in series like Ford made 70 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything is really managed by hands. Even every single engraving on the pen is managed by hands.
Mm.
And there's some cost around that. Mm-hmm. These people on my back, as family, they have to eat some food. And I mean, here, there's some value around our pen. And I think you can feel, like, using the pen, you can feel there's 30 crazy Italian people behind every single pen.
That's wonderful. I absolutely can feel that. I mean, I believe that, you know, that craftsmanship, you know, when I started my company, I was making pens, so I can appreciate what goes into that probably more than your average person. And I can feel, you know, when I'm holding one of these pens that there is that craftsmanship, that someone else really cared and held that pen as well. And I believe, you know, part of that kind of care, that love, just transfers through that pen. I don't know. That's a little touchy-feely, but it's true. You know, I do feel that.
I mean, that's why you can perfectly understand what I mean. And if one day you will have a chance to visit Italy for any reason, our door is open, of course, for a friend, and you should come and you should see, and you should sit down together with us and working with us. I mean, sometimes I go downstairs and looking people working. I try to give an answer, even if I'm not that expert like they are. But I try, and it's an experience, really.
Yeah. Well,
when you have the full control, I mean, of the chain, starting from white paper, you start designing the pen, then you go designing the pen with the computer, then you see technical drawing, then you see the first sample, then you see the prototype, then you see the pre-series, and then you see the final product. I mean, you have the whole process under control, and you can see a pen growing up like a child.
Hmm. Well, I really appreciate your showing me, you know, especially you taking the time to do this interview, showing me your whole team. I didn't even know that everybody was going to be there. That was a really pleasant surprise. I appreciate so much your willingness to show more of the personal side of your business, especially as a manufacturer, because I think so many people think manufacturing is this industrialized, you know, thing where you have robots and injection molding machines, and there's, you know, very few people involved, and the people that are involved don't really care about the customer, and it's, you know, but I can tell that it's not that way at Omas, and I'm really thankful that you're willing to meet with me and share with the world, really, kind of more of the personal side of what goes on there.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. I mean, I think there's no secret I can pass by Skype or by a video, the know-how, the real know-how is here. I mean, but not here only, but in the people you saw before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the company. That's the company, and what Armando Simoni left us to try to improve or to keep on going, you know?
That's fantastic. I absolutely agree with you. I feel the same way here about my team. You know, it's not just, you know, I started my company, so it's not just me though. I mean, I get to do a video like this and take all the credit for it, but everybody else is actually doing the work as we're sitting here talking.
Right.
That's wonderful. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up here?
For around Omas, you mean?
Yeah. Anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to get across, at least in this video. I'm sure we'll be doing others, but.
Well, actually, there's no special. There's nothing special, nothing else. It's just the magician, the magic around the feeling you have when you write. I mean, what I want to say is that I think the pen industry has to change a little bit the approach to pen. And starting with the big giant, the German big giant Mont Blanc, they actually did a fantastic marketing exercise. I mean, moving the pen industry to luxury, okay, and extending the experience with the brand to other categories than pens. Mont Blanc, and then there are some follower, and I have to say, unfortunately, nowadays a lot of brands try to follow up this kind of luxury approach to pens, which is in some ways also good, because I mean, this is a way also to be on some other magazine than in the past, so I think there is some value. But I'm not agree when we try to sell a pen as a luxury tool. I mean, I think that concept is quite old. What is luxury today? I can't remember if we talked when we met up about that.
Mm-hmm, we did.
Did we talk? Okay, so sorry, maybe I...
No, please repeat it. This is all good stuff that I wanted you to get into.
looks like I don't have anything more to say, but I strongly believe in that, actually, which is the concept of luxury. I don't think luxury today is something you can own. Luxury today is just a question of time, the time you can dedicate to your passion. And when you can get some benefit from anything, and a pen could give you some benefit in terms of time, because there is a ceremony around any fountain pen. Just filling the barrel, I mean, it's already a time you have to spend, you know, or keeping good condition, or cleaning sometimes, or even when you're writing, I mean, you have to take care, because you can get dirty, or you can do some mistakes very easily. So in some way, the fountain pen ask you some time and give you some time, you know. Make you think better to what you write, make you understand from your mistake much better than the machine. And I was looking actually yesterday night, it was my night, the presentation of the Yosemite. I'm an Apple addicted, and looks like there's nothing so different than Apple and Omas. Actually, in reality, there's nothing more complementary than Apple to Omas, than iPhone to writing instruments. I think the first flash idea is a pen, because it's the direct connection from your brain to some paper. Brain, arm, hand, pen, you write. And then you need machine to fine-tune your job, to conclude your project, you know. So there's really nothing more complementary. So this kind of luxury approach probably is old. Can I say old?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have to work on another way. I mean, we have to work saying that pens give you some more time.
great.
make your life better. I mean, make yourself improve a little bit. That's what we try to do. It's hard, but once we have people like Goulet company on our side, I think we will win this challenge.
And that's something I wanted to touch on just a little bit is I think for some people who aren't familiar with with Goulet as much, or maybe they know a little bit about what we do, and they look at Omas, and it's kind of like, why is this relationship coming together? It kind of just came out of the blue, But I think something that people need to understand is that, we started out just selling ink and paper. We didn't even do anything with pens, and then we got into some lower end pens, and we've kind of been learning more and more, and I've appreciated more myself as we've grown. I'm hopelessly addicted to my own goods. And so as I've learned more, I appreciate more and more the quality that goes into these higher end pens. But one thing I've noticed is, like you said, is a lot of the pens in kind of this luxury market, they kind of turn their noses up a little bit to me and my company because we're an online retailer. We don't have, kind of a jewelry store kind of display, and we're not in a major city. You've seen where we are. It's rural Virginia. There's nothing fancy about our building or anything. But when you started talking about Omas and what you believe, that writing experience, and especially when you started talking about luxury and how it's not just about buying an expensive pen and putting it up on a shelf and putting it away and never writing with it. It's really about the luxury is the experience that you have while you're writing. That was like, to me, it was like, yeah, that's it right there. That's the alignment. So while you have other pens that some people may compare with yours, I think the philosophy behind what the company is trying to do couldn't be any more different. So I think for everybody that's looking at Goulet and Omas, that's the thing they need to understand, is it's about the writing experience and actually using these and appreciating them, not just looking at them like a piece of jewelry.
I agree. Really, I'm very pleased to have met you, and in this time, I mean, we are ready. It's actually over 1.5 years we start to communicate this message, and it was the right time to meet you and to cooperate together, to keep on going with this message. And I'm so sure today we are you and Omas, but tomorrow somebody else will join us. I will be next week in Spain for presenting the Monte Cristo limited edition, which is a pen dedicated to the Cuban cigar brand. And the link is very easy. Again, it's time. Smoking a cigar is a ceremony, like writing with pens, because gives you time and ask you time. You have to prepare your cigar. You have to sit down. You cannot be everywhere. It's a ceremony. And again, I will be talking with people, young people like you are. In their showroom, we have organized a cata de cigarro, which means cigar tasting. So we will taste cigar, we will introduce the pen, we will talk about benefit of taking time, driving with relax, slow living, and so on. So I'm so sure sooner or later our community will be larger than today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, especially if people learn to appreciate them more. I know that's one thing you expressed before, is that because of the limited nature of some of your pens, there's a huge loyal following with the Omas brand. A lot of the pens that you make get sold and get out there and barely even get photographed, if at all, because they're already gone. You're not trying to expand and take over the world. You really focus on your craft and what you do. And I think that's part of the reason, too, why you guys are excited for us, is we have a phenomenal photographer and videographer here, and I'm very passionate about these things as well. I love to talk about them, even until our audio recorder stops, and I don't stop myself. But I really appreciate kind of that aspect of what you all do.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to be sensitive to your time here. I know you're a very busy man. You do a lot of traveling. You have a team there that relies on you getting your work done. So I don't want to take you up all day here, but it's been wonderful the time that you spent with me here this morning. I know that all of our viewers are going to so greatly appreciate this deeper insight into what Omas does. Thank you so much, Luke. I'll let you get back to the rest of your day here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Say hello to Rachel and everybody else over there.
Will do. All right. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed my video here with Luca. If you have any questions, you can always post in the comments on YouTube or my blog. It was a really cool honor for me. Thank you so much, Luca. Thank you, everyone at Omas, for the relationship that we're building with Goulet and for giving us the opportunity to do cool stuff like this. We're surely going to be able to do more stuff like this in the future. So if you have any suggestions, any questions that you've got for Luca and about any Omas related stuff, be sure to let me know. Thanks so much for watching this today, and right on.